I thought it was really interesting how, to be a prospective Robocop candidate, you need to have good temperament. So thinking of all the actors you've worked with, who would have the best temperament to be Robocop and who might not be such a good choice?
Who would have the best temperament?
Yes.
To be Robocop? That's very... That's a difficult question. I'm trying to think of the actors. Kevin Bacon.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yes. And who would be the least likely? Russell Crowe.
Oh. Okay. Trying to envision Russell Crowe in the Robocop mask now. It's weird. Your character is under a lot of pressure to get Robocop fixed and sort of onto the streets. In your career, thinking of the roles you've played, what's the most pressure you felt to get a role right?
George Smiley.
And why do you say that?
Because it is an iconic role, made iconic by another actor. Alec Guinness had a huge success with Smiley and was the face of Smiley for a generation, several generations, and was so revered in the role that when you step into the shoes, the comparisons are inevitably going to be made. And so that was pretty... The ghost of Guinness was sort of there, you know? So that was quite... That's the most scared I've been as an actor, I suppose. Yeah.
And you know, with this film, it's very interesting because, especially at the beginning of the film, you see that the robotics are trying to making it into the humans, in terms of they're trying to make a better version of humans with your character in the beginning, with the guy who plays the guitar, which I thought was very interesting. Bringing it back to acting though, what is the character you played which you feel is most close to yourself, your personality? I'm trying to ask you things you haven't been asked before.
You know, it's good. It's good. It's keeping me awake. No, I suppose I'm Jim Gordon.
Okay. I'm a huge fan of the Batman franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, you bring up Jim Gordon. It's a geeky question, but Michael Keaton obviously also starred in the Tim. Was there any conversations about that?
Yeah. I mean, I was Chris Nolan's last Gordon, and he was Burton's first Batman. Yeah. So it was quite fun. Yeah. He was someone that Michael was someone I'd wanted to work with for a while, and we had a conversation about that. It was kind of, it was cool.
And I've realised, looking through your most recent filmography, that you're starring in sort of some of the biggest sort of remakes or reboot of franchises. You got this one, you've had Batman, and now you got Dawn of the Planet of the Apes coming up as well. What is it that you think about these stories, about the characters that make people want to revisit it?
Well, it's such a great idea. The Planet of the Apes. I mean, from the book to the very first one, and I think that's a sort of that kind of intrigues and fascinates people. This is the Robocop is really like I think it's like the Frankenstein story, and that's still it's still around and still interests people. It's the struggle, isn't it? It's because they're films about human versus ape, human versus machine. It's the threat of the extinction of man. Yeah.
Cool. And I mean, I just want to ask you a little bit more about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. What do you think audiences can expect from the
Well,
movie?
I have not seen the movie.
Okay.
I've seen 3 minutes of one of the apes rendered in the CG, and since the last one, the technology has come on 100 times. So I was pretty amazed and blown away by the graphics, and the story is really fantastic. This one, it's really had a very good script, and Matt Reeves, a great director. I think he's going to do the next one. Yeah, so it's. I've got great hope for it. I think it's going to be a cracker.
Well, thank you for your time today. It's an honor to speak to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.